Hey dreamers, welcome back to the Disney Magical Mindset Podcast. My name is Ruben, your Disney Magic mentor, and I'm here to help you unlock your inner magic and create your happiest place on earth, your own happiest place on earth. I'm so glad you're here today. I'm so pumped for today's episode because we're digging into something that holds way too many people back. Yeah, we're talking about comparison. And I've actually talked about comparison in previous episodes, but today I want to look at it from a more positive perspective because typically when we think about comparison, we always think about it in a negative way, and it is that. In fact, again, I've spoken about it before. I've spoken about it from that torture perspective. Yeah, that's the comparison that is tough, but there is another kind of comparison, a comparison that we can use as a tool to help us accomplish our dreams. And today I want to talk about that kind of comparison and, more importantly, how to stop letting it freeze you and start letting it fuel you. Yeah, that's right. If you've ever looked around and thought, why not me? Have you felt that way before? If you've ever felt jealous of someone else's success, timing, or talent, this episode is for you. So buckle up. Come on, let's go on that attraction together because we're about to go deep with this comparison thing. Are you ready? Here we go. Let's be honest. Social media, real life, even the Disney community. It's easy to look around and feel like everyone else is winning. Some of you are just starting your Disney journey, your Disney accounts, right? And you're looking at everyone else and you're like, man, it seems like they're getting there faster, or they're quicker, or they're blowing up. And you look at yourself and you're like, I don't feel like I'm right there. You know, someone's traveling, they're launching their dream business, they're growing a following, they're living their joy. And you're stuck asking, why not me? But let me tell you something. That question keeps you stuck because, first of all, what you have to understand is you have to stop comparing. All right, we're going to talk about comparison. You have to stop comparing somebody's fifth chapter with your first chapter. You have to stop approaching life from that perspective of always seeing people ahead, because when you do that, then you always see yourself behind. You have to understand that you are not where someone else is right now or quite yet. In fact, what we have to remember is that nobody gets there overnight. And so we often start comparing ourselves up to other people who are ahead of us or above us. And we start thinking that we're not where we should be because we're constantly comparing somebody else's journey instead of our own. But here's what I want you to ask. Here's what I want you to think about. Instead of asking, why not me? I want you to flip it today. Can we flip it today? Can we do this together? Start asking, why can't I? Instead of saying, why not me? Start asking, why can't I? And then you go do it. Somehow we've limited our ability to go after the things that we were built for, that we were destined for, because we're constantly looking at what everyone else is doing instead of believing that we have it in us to do it the same, or to do it better, or to do it greater, right? When you spend your energy, and here it is, focusing on how unfair life seems, you end up paralyzed, watching from the sidelines. And what I know about you is you were not meant to watch from the sidelines. You were meant to play the game, to get in the game. And you know what happens when you're just watching from the sidelines and you're constantly looking at everyone else and what everyone else is doing and how everyone else is winning, right? It's so easy to then start believing and get discouraged about where you are. And what it begins to fuel is procrastination, perfectionism, and self-doubt. And so you never get to where you're going because you're constantly looking at someone else's story. You have an amazing story. You have a brilliant story to tell. Your chapters are still being written, and it's time to start believing, right, that you have it in you. Like, stop wasting your energy trying to control other people's journeys or trying to control what they've done. Like, you got to let them do them, and then you got to say, you know what do I need to do today, like, so that it fuels me to get off my butt, to get off the sidelines and to start getting in the game. Come on, we're going to get in the game. This is the game changer. We're 6 months into the year, and now's the time. It's a great time to do some self-reflection and some inward looking in, right? To start saying, where do I want to be at the end of the year? Where do I want to be at the beginning of 2026? This is one of those podcast episodes that I hope you will look back on and listen to often. In fact, I will do the same, because we need these moments to recharge us and remind us of what we're capable of, but we can't do it if we're constantly looking at what everyone else is doing. Now, here's the positive thing about comparison. Because if you are looking and you are comparing yourself to other people, here's where we're going to switch it. And here's the game changer. Oh, this is a game changer. This is the pivot, because this is how we're going to flip the comparison game to a positive perspective, is to see comparison as a tool to help you, right? We mostly see comparison as a bad thing, and it is that, man. Comparison is, as people, and you've heard this before, comparison is the thief of joy. Yes, man, it is torture sometimes. I'm not talking about that comparison. I'm saying, how do we flip it and use comparison to our advantage? In other words, if we see somebody else doing something that we want and we start comparing ourselves, here's what we're going to do. We're going to start looking at it from a perspective that we can use as a tool to enhance what we want to do, right? Somebody else's successes are not your losses. In fact, it just proves that what you want to do can be done. Ooh, I'm telling you, man, this is the game changer that I learned from Mel Robbins. It's like using comparison to your advantage as a teacher, right? To use it in such a way that begins to change the way you look at other people's successes, right? So the problem is not necessarily about comparing. The problem is not using comparison to your advantage, to use it to say, you know what? No, I'm going to kick myself into gear. I'm like, if they did it, and then that means I can too, because they paved the way, because there's an actual blueprint. There's something there's a formula out there that they used, right? So I want you to start seeing comparison, right? Not from that negative perspective. It's always going to be there. We can't deny that, right? That torturous perspective of comparison that defeats us and deflates us. But can we start looking at comparison from that perspective, right? From that perspective of looking at someone else's life or success that you're now excited about, and you're saying, now, how do I create that for myself, for Ruben, for you? Yeah, this is the kind of comparison I'm talking about, because their success isn't your failure. It's proof, again, I want to say it again, it can be done. And if it can be done, why not by you? Someone else's win or success isn't a sign you're behind. It's a reminder. Go do it. You can do it. Let it inspire you, not stop you. This is how to use comparison to your advantage. Let's go. Come on, I'm rooting for you. I'm cheering for you. I'm cheering for myself, because now's the time that we get to decide, what do you want with life? Where do you want to be in 5 years from now? Where do you want to be in 10 days from now, in 20 days, like in a year? This is the moment, my friends. And I am so excited for you. I'm so excited for myself more than ever, because I can see it. I can feel it. And let me just remind you again, like, just because somebody has done it or has gone before you doesn't mean that you can't either. There's so many people. What is it? 8 billion people in the world? Something like that. Like, everybody's doing something. You can find something that somebody has already done, something that you want to do. And so just because it's gone before you or it's happened and somebody else is doing it, doesn't mean that you can't either. Do you know what I'm trying to say here? I mean, listen, and don't worry about it looking the same or sounding the same. Everybody be copying everybody. And then you just make it your own. There was a book I read one time, it was really good, called Steal Like an Artist. And it was just like this idea that there's nothing really, really original. Everyone's picking up everything from somebody else, right? And then we spin it to make it our own. So like, don't allow someone else's, again, wins or successes to be like losses for you. It's just an opportunity to say, yes, let's go, man. Let's do this. Thank you. In other words, like, this is a great tool and resource to use. Again, we're going to use comparison as a teacher, right? As a tool. Thank that person, man. Thank you for going ahead of me. Thank you for making it happen. Thank you for showing me that it is possible. And I appreciate you, man. Thank somebody. That's what we should do for paving the way and showing us that it can be done. Okay. Whew. Now, the next part might sting a little, but I want you to know I say this with love. All right? I hope you feel that. You're not stuck. You're just avoiding the responsibility to begin, to start, to do what Walt says is to quit talking and to start doing. It's always easier to say, well, they had help, or they got lucky, or I could never do that, right? Then to take a long, honest look in the mirror and admit you're scared. You've waited, and you've been talking yourself out of starting for way too long. Isn't that the hard truth most people run from? But I want you to know you're not most people. You're here because something in you knows there's more, that it's not too late and it's not out of reach. That's why I'm here to cheer you on and encourage you that you can do this. Because here's the truth. 95% of the things you want in life are within your reach. Do you hear me? Let me say that again. 95% of the things you want in life, the things that you desire, the things that are tugging at your heart, that you know you want to do, right? You know you were destined for. I want you to know they are within your reach. If you're willing to work, stay consistent, be patient, and stay disciplined. That's it. That's the strategy. That's the blueprint. No pixie dust shortcuts, no cheat codes, no Imagineers to come and somehow give you this magic button to press, right? I love what Tom Brady said. I mean, this is another game changer right here. And we know that Tom Brady knows a thing or two about winning and success. He said, the truth is you don't have to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't. Consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. Did you hear, Tom? You don't have to be special. And sometimes I think we think that. We think that we have to have these extraordinary special gifts. And we all have certain gifts, man. That's why you are who you are. But you need to hear this word today. You just have to do what most people aren't willing to do. Like, most people aren't consistent. Most people aren't determined. Most people aren't willing to work for it. But you are not like most people. We are not like most people. This is where it's going to change. And I promise you, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep showing up. How bad do you want it? Like, literally, like, how bad do you want this thing? Are you willing to put in the work to say, you know what, maybe, just maybe, those nights that I'm watching TV or Netflix or Disney Plus, maybe I got to just turn it off so I can work on that goal. Yeah, like, this is the sacrifice. This is the stuff that nobody sees. This isn't the sexy stuff, right? This is the behind the scenes. Like, this is the things that people aren't willing to do. Most people aren't, because it requires consistency, determination. It requires that stuff that most people don't see, and you don't get those applauses, right? It's that stuff that's just quiet. That requires your all, and nobody sees it. And so sometimes you got to be your biggest cheerleader. Sometimes you got to be your biggest fan, because nobody's going to get sometimes what you're trying to do. But I'm here, and I'm here to cheer you on, and I'm here to continue to push you forward, because I'm with you. Like, I'm in it with you. There are things happening in my life right now that are just, I'm so pumped for. So I'm with you in this together. Let's go. All right. Listen, before we jump off this comparison train, I want to talk a little bit about jealousy and what that might be telling you, because really, if you've been there before, in fact, not if, I know you've been there before, where you look at somebody else's life or what they're doing, or you see what someone else has and you get jealous. It's that feeling inside. I think we've all felt this way before. I want you to know, right? That gut punch feeling when someone gets what what you want. We usually think, I hate that I feel this way. Have you felt that? Like you start to feel guilty that you feel this way. But I want to reframe it. If someone else's wins make you jealous or maybe even a little angry, it's not because you don't want them to succeed. I don't think that. At least I hope that's not the case. It's because deep down, you're mad at yourself for not starting sooner, right? I think that's really what it comes down to. Deep down, you're not angry at them. You're angry that you know you could have tried or you could have started and you didn't. And so now you see them further ahead and you're like, man, if I would have just started 2 years ago or I would have started 5 years ago, right? So it's not really them you're angry about or with or jealous. It's really you. It's that something that you struggle with. But here's what I want you to understand. That's not something to shame yourself over. I want you to reframe it. It's a gift. Yeah, it's actually a gift, because that spark of jealousy is telling you exactly what matters to you. Use it. See, we're reframing this whole comparison thing. Use it to your advantage. Let it wake you up. Let it show you what's possible. And then shift your energy from frustration to fuel. Let it fuel you. Yeah, you actually can see this comparison thing. I hope you're beginning to see in a whole new light today that we have to shift it and switch it from simply being something that's negative, which it can be. We know that negative piece and part, to something positive, a teacher, something that fuels us and says, let's make it happen. Okay. Well, I can't think of a better way to end our time together than with a quote from Walt Disney, who once said, "I've been up against tough competition all my life. I wouldn't know how to get along without it." Just think about that for one moment. He didn't let competition stop him. Come on, Walt. He used it. He wasn't afraid of it. He let it sharpen him. He didn't get bitter watching others succeed. He got better by continuing to focus on what he could build. He's like, okay, great. Now let me do it, and let me do it better. That's what I want for you. Your version of success will never look like someone else's. And guess what? It shouldn't. It's yours, right? You get to shape it and craft it so that it looks like you. All right? That's the mindset. This is the key. I hope that you see, when I think of Walt, I'm always amazed at him because he didn't avoid competition. He actually embraced it. He's like, let's go. Because competition and comparison, I think Walt understood this, can actually sharpen you if you let it. So, if you've been watching everyone else win and feeling like you're behind, I want you to stop right now. Look in the mirror and say, why can't I? If you're listening to this driving, I want you to look in the mirror and say, why can't I? Why can't I? Then go build it. Go and do it. Come on, Walt took a field of orange groves and turned it into a magic kingdom. It's your time now. You have everything you need. Do you hear me? You have everything you need right now to take the first step. Forget about trying to be special, or forget about, believing that you have to have it all together. You got to have it, right? Be consistent. Be willing. Be the kind of person who doesn't quit. Let their success be a signal, not a stop sign. It's time to go. Come on, it's green. Let's go. Oh, my friends, thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to share with you today. I appreciate you so much. If this message hit home for you today, I've got something that will help you go even deeper. Grab my free Disney Magical Mindset Starter Guide. It's your first step toward rewiring your thoughts, finding your joy, and living like the magic never stops. In fact, you can get it in this podcast episode description. It's right there. And make sure, please, it would mean so much to share this episode with someone you care about, because we don't gatekeep growth or pixie dust around here. Come on, we share it. We encourage, we spread this Disney love. Until next time, keep dreaming big, keep believing, and remember, you are the magic, because the magic is in you.